Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song called Mean to Me, and we end up cabling this on 5th fret to kind of match the recording. We'll walk through a couple things in root position just in case you don't have a capo. And there's this really cool fingerstyle lick, and we'll talk about some fingerstyle options here and some strumming options here. But you could start off, if you just want to follow just that main melody line, kind of starting 2nd fret on the G string as a hammer on to 4th fret, and then 2nd fret on the G, open G, open G, and then open D, open G, and then 3rd fret on the B, and then we could do open D as a hammer on the 2nd fret, and then 2nd on the D, open D, open G, and then open D, open G, and then B string on the 3rd. So you may want to kind of pause the video, look at the tab if you kind of check that out, kind of that 2 4 2 0 0 0 0 3 0 2 2 0 0 0 0 3 A B A G G D G D D E D G D G D. If you kind of dig on that, and you could back that up with bass notes. Actually, if you're kind of interested in doing this with the fingers, you could add in 3rd fret on the low E string as kind of your bass note to kick it off. So now I'm kind of using the 2nd finger for that low E bass, using a pinky actually for the B string hammer on, but you could probably use 3rd too. And then you could hit the open E, and then kind of fill in that D, G, D, or the 0, 0, 3. And then we could play 3rd fret on the A string with the open D for the hammer on, and then open G, and then kind of go back to 3rd fret on the low E, and then the open D, open G, open 3rd fret on the B. So maybe we're going to kind of fill that in with the bass notes. Could be kind of cool. And another option actually is to fill it in with more basses, and this gets a little tricky. There's some tab there, hopefully on the screen, that kind of makes sense. Kind of that 3 and 2 at the same time with your hammer on, and then a bass, 2nd on the G, 3rd on the low E, open G, 3rd on the low E, G, right? So it's all about thumb index kind of, or thumb finger kind of alternation. E, and then this is the weird part. You got open E, open D, and then open G and open E at the same time, and then the 3rd fret on the B, and then 2 more open E's. So that's a little weird timing wise. 3 2 4 3 2 3 0 3 0 0 0 opens together 3 open open. But then the 2nd half almost kind of matches that rhythmically. Kind of that 3rd on the A with the open D. 3 2 3 0 3 open 3 0 open, and G and 3rd fret on the low E together, 3rd fret on the B, 3rd fret on the low E. So if you want to kind of follow that, I know that's really complex, and we'll talk about some really easy options here too, but it's just a beautiful melody and definitely something to practice. Now the chords that would back up that lick would start on a G major chord. And normally you do that 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the low E 3rd, 3rd finger on the high E 3rd. And if you strum all those together, the happy sounds of G major. Now you may also dig on taking the 3rd finger and adding it in on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for the G. And then from the G we'd be going to an E minor chord. And normally you do that 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the D 2nd. And if you strum all those together, the sad sounds of E minor. Now, you may also dig on adding in 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for E minor. And then from the E minor, we can go into a C major chord. And normally you do that 1st finger on the B 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D 2nd, 3rd finger on the A 3rd. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, it sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. Around C's though, it can be cool to lift the 1st finger and the C major 7, jazz it up a little. Or you get adding the pinky on the B 3rd, C major 9, kind of say some stuff. Or you may dig on another C major 9, doing 1st finger on the D 2nd, 2nd finger on the A 3rd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for the C major. And then from the C, we'd be going back to our G major chord. And there's a couple strumming options you may want to play around with. You could do kind of a 4 down count on each of those, kind of G 2 3 4, E minor 2 3 4, C 2 3 4, G 2 3 4, G 2 3 4, E minor, C, G. Or you may dig on a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you took the G and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now if you're quick enough, you could probably get that whole pattern in on each chord, kind of da 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 da, C da 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 da. Or if you're just starting out, you may want to just split that pattern, and you could do just a down, down, up on each chord to kind of half it. Or you can kind of dig on splitting the pattern, which would be very cool too. Kind of G with a down, down, up, E minor on the up, down, up, C on the down, down, up, G on the up, down, up. Or you may dig, and sometimes I get excited, and dig on doing G with a down, down, E minor with the up, up, down, up, and then the C with a down, down, G on the up, up, down, up. I was really kind of digging for myself on a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the G and do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. And on the second beat, you'd be doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you do it up on 2, down on 3. So kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Through that intro though, the chords are going back kind of quick, so you may want to take just half that pattern, just the down, 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 up on each chord, kind of D, down, down, up, E minor, down, down, up, C. That pattern, and you can do the G with the down, 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 up, and then go to the E minor for the up, down, down, up, down, and the C with the down, 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 up, and the G with the up, down, down, up, down. It'd be kind of cool to split that pattern too. C, down, down, G, up, down, down, up, down. And then from that intro, we'll be going into our first verse. We kind of start off that same way: E, G, E minor, C, G, then we got a G, E minor, and then a C, but then we go to a D major chord. And normally you do this first finger on the G second, second finger on the high E second, third finger on the B third, and if you strum the D string of the high E string, the happy sounds of D major. Now you may also dig on lifting off the second finger, making that a D sus2, or you can add in the pinky on the high E third for D suspended, and kind of say some stuff around the D chord. Or randomly, there are some fingerstyle options, other fingerstyle options, that you might even kind of dig on a D, add 4 for, doing first finger on the B first or third fret, second finger on the D, fourth, third finger on the A, fifth. So it's a C chord shape, but now I've moved it over 2 frets. That's something I call D add 4. And the cool thing about that when we talk about bass notes later is you have the A string for the bass, and you can actually kind of line your fingers up, and it's kind of a cool sound for D major. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I dig on that. And then from the D, then we'd be going back to our G, E minor, C, G, and then we got a G, and then a D, and then we go back into our intro, and then we go to our second verse, and actually at the very end of the second verse, you'll kind of hear a G tag where we do the G for A, and then we go into our chorus part. And on our chorus, actually, if you're doing the down, down, up, down, up, you'd have the C with the whole pattern, G with the whole pattern, down, down, up, down, E minor, D, C, G, intro, back to our verse, kind of back through our chorus, back to our intro, and then we'll be going into our bridge part. On the bridge part, we have our E minor with the whole pattern, and then we kind of have a C and a G, and then we have a C and a G, and then we do our D with the whole pattern, and then we have another D with the whole pattern. And then from there, we'll be going into our last chord, which is kind of a variation of that. Now, the weird part is to play along with Brett, instead of starting on a G major chord, he's actually starting on a C major chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 5th fret, then now your G is really a C major chord, and your E minor is really an A minor chord, and your C is really an F major chord, and your D is really a G major chord. But you may want to kind of kick it off with that intro lick, kind of that 2 4 2 0 0, and then 0 2 2 0 0 3 0 3, or you could add in those extra basses. Or you could work the strumming. You could kind of do that with the down idea, or the down, down, up, down, up. Or you might be taking on the 16th. G, minor, C, G. And then from there, then we'll be going into our first verse. You can do that with any of those strummings we've been talking about. So kind of G, E minor, C, G, G, E minor, C, then we go into a little piece of our intro. So you can kind of work that G, E minor, C, G, or something else that I would think about adding to the song is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you throw a bass note in for the chord. So on the G, you'd have the low E for the bass. On the E minor, you'd have low E for the bass. On the C, you'd have the A for the bass. And on the D, you'd have the D for the bass. Unless you're kind of digging on that D add 4, and then you have the A for the bass on the D add 4. So you could work it as kind of a bass down up on each chord, kind of G down up, E minor down up, C down up, G down up. Or you could add basses and splitting the pattern. You have the G down up, E minor, C down up, G up, down up. Or if you're digging on the 16th, you could work it as a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. So you can work a bass, down, down, up on each chord, kind of G, E minor, C, G, or what can be really cool is to do the G with a bass, down, down, up, and then go to the E minor with the up, bass, down, up, down, and the C with the bass, down, down, up, down, down. So we kind of dig on splitting the pattern that way. G, minor, C, G. And then from there, then we'll be going into our next verse. You could work that any of those ways we've been talking about. It's kind of G, E minor, C, G, G, E minor, C, D, G. Chorus with the bass down, up, down, up. We'd have the C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, G, D. That'll lead back into our intro. Or if you're digging on the 16th idea, you'd have the C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, G, D, to lead into a little piece of our intro. another possibility, actually, especially since we were talking about all this, you know, kind of the two-part idea with the thumb and the fingers. If you're more interested in kind of working as a fingerstyle idea, another option would be using your thumb for your bass player for the E and the A and the D string, and you could line up your index middle ring, index finger on the G string, middle finger on the B string, ring finger on the high E string, which could be a very, very cool setup to kind of get used to working fingerstyle in general. And what you may want to try is even kind of a thumb index middle ring. Could be a cool arpeggio to kind of start with. So on that intro return, you may want to just kind of try that one time on each chord. Kind of G, E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G. So kind of a bass G, B, E is kind of that main idea. Now there's lots of other ways you can kind of mix that up too. Might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it through that intro return. And if we tried that idea through our verse, we have the G, E minor, C, G, E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, G, D, G. And you may want to do it twice on that last G. And then from there, we're going into our second chorus. Now, another possibility, and actually I just kind of dig on this in general, is instead of on thumb, index, middle, ring, you may want to try or kind of setting up index on the D string, middle on the G string, ring finger on the B string. So I'm shifting index, middle, ring, down one string or up one string, depending on which way you're looking at it. And you could even kind of vary that pattern. And actually, another variation of that pattern I really dig on is kind of a thumb, middle, index, ring. So now we're going bass and then G, D, B. Can be a cool pattern. And actually for those chords that we have more time on, actually, it's like on that C chord, you may want to kind of start it off with that pattern, thumb, middle, index, ring, and then come back middle, index, middle. So I'm actually kind of going bass for the A string, for the C chord, bass, middle, index, ring, and then middle, index, middle, or A, G, D, B, G, D, G. It's kind of the strings I'm playing. And that can be very cool, especially with that D-add for, oh, I love that sound. So if we try that idea through our second chorus, on the halving chords, actually, you just kind of work that thumb, middle, index, ring, just one time. But for the other ones, you could kind of throw in that other middle, index, middle. So you have the C, G, E minor, D add 4, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, D. And then from there, we're going back into our intro. And that could be very cool if you're working with fingers. You don't have to worry about grabbing the pick or anything. Kind of jump into that lick. We do that twice, and then we go into our bridge part. And you could try that with the bass down, up, just that E minor, C, G, C, G, D. On the 16th, then you have E minor, C, G, C, G, D, or D. Or if you're digging on working that with the fingers, you have the E minor, C, G, C, G, Then we're going into our last chorus. So we tried that with the bass down, up, down, up. We'd have the C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, G, D, G. And then we're back E minor, half a G cool, so I added the intro for the outro. But that's the basics of how you can strum through and kind of fingerstyle through Mean to Me by Eldredge. So good luck! Hi, wherever you are in YouTube land. This is Munson Summer with MunsonMusicLive, Munson guitar songs, Munson covers, and Munson jam tracks. Thanking you for watching this video, and I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you like this video and subscribe to the channel to see lots more like it. I'm always open to your requests. If you have a song that you love, please let me know so I can write it down on the request list so I can add that to it, because there are probably other people out there who love that song too and would love to learn how to play it. So thanks so much for all the love that you give me, and I hope that you're doing well and kind of figuring out how you can talk with the instrument. We are a small music shop in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina, and you're supporting us by watching this channel. Really appreciate all that love. So best of luck, and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you in particular too. You can contact me on Facebook. You can leave a message here in the comments section, and I respond to all the comments that I get. So best of luck to you wherever you are.